New COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are falling across the U.S., and some state and public health officials are dropping restrictions. KCRA3's Christopher Salas is live in our Washington bureau right now. And Christopher, you spoke with the nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, about how states should move forward. What did he have to say?
Letizia, good morning. Dr. Anthony Fauci says navigating the next steps here in the pandemic is going to be complicated, and it comes as 49 states have either removed mask mandates altogether or they plan to in the near future. Is now the time to ease restrictions?
Well, it's a complicated issue because if you look at the recommendations from the CDC, based on their metrics of looking at the country and the degree of activity, most of the country, in fact, 95 to 97% of the country falls within the either substantial or high range. The complicating, conflating issue is that the cases are rapidly coming down. There's a lot of pressure and a lot of pent-up fatigue on the people's part about the restrictions, but we better be careful because it is a bit risky to doing something prematurely.
Is it too soon to remove masks from schools, or should we continue to mask children in schools?
Given the degree of dynamics of virus in the communities, that children in school should still be masked, as well as teachers.
We also asked Dr. Fauci about the new subvariant of Omicron.
We're learning that it appears to be a bit more transmissible than the original Omicron, but it doesn't appear to have any more severity of disease.
Is that a good mark in terms of the pandemic, again, as it becomes more transmissible, but it's not as severe? Are we entering that endemic phase?
It is possible, Christopher, but you really can't say for sure. I mean, this is a very wily virus. It's fooled us before. I believe that there's enough background immunity in the population, unless it makes a dramatic new change. If it changes a bit, there'll still be enough of background immunity to contain it from being a public health real challenge.
And Dr. Fauci also added that the CDC will be soon updating its guidance for indoor mask wearing. In Washington, I'm Christopher Salas, KCRA3 News.
Christopher, thank you for your report this morning. In other news, schools in the Golden State are one of the places still requiring masks because of that state health order, and districts that don't follow the state's mandate could face serious consequences. The Roseville Joint Unified High School District lifted the indoor masking requirement for kids in classrooms this week. A letter from the school's insurance group to the Board of Trustees on Thursday warns that the district could lose its liability insurance over the decision to drop face coverings.
They're immediately liable for anything that stems from not obeying state law and not having the mask mandate in place. Down the road, they could lose the ability to band together with other school districts and purchase insurance if that group decides to take action to remove them from the group.
Legal experts say other consequences could include potential loss of COVID-19 disaster relief funding, possible liabilities to district workers claiming retaliation for following the state guidelines, and potential civil injuries caused by COVID-19 infections. The school board and school district did not respond to our request for a comment. And this is the first weekend in just over 2 months when Californians don't have to wear a mask in public in most places if they're vaccinated. And last night, Sacramento was bustling with activity. We caught up with families at the Disney on Ice, at the Golden One Center, and concert goers at Ace of Spades on R Street corridor. Many were thrilled to finally keep their masks off indoors due to the statewide mandate ending earlier this week. But some are still staying cautious and are deciding to continue to mask up, at least for now.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I feel free. It's nice to get back out there and be kind of normal again.
We choose to keep our family really healthy, even though we're vaccinated and boosted. We still want to keep it on just to protect ourselves and everybody else.
Something we noticed is that many parents were still opting to keep their masks on because their children are under the age of 5, and those kids are still not able to get a COVID-19 vaccine. The relaxing restrictions come as COVID cases across the country continue to drop, including here in California. 12,000 new infections were reported Thursday. That is a huge decline from a month ago when Omicron cases were surging. We were seeing more than 99,000 new cases a day. The test positivity rate is now at 5.4%. A month ago, more than 20% of the tests reported back as positive. Hospitals are seeing fewer patients with COVID as well. There are more than 6,800 people in the hospital with the virus. That is 375 fewer patients than the day before. Plans are currently in the works in San Francisco to get more people back to work in their downtown offices next month. Mayor London Breed tells business leaders she is working on a new strategy with the Chamber of Commerce and other groups to bring back more traffic to the city. Downtown has been hit hard since most employees are working from home during the pandemic. Downtown San Francisco buildings are about 20% occupied right now. Business group leaders say they hope to see that figure double this year.